from California on a private plane was staying at a hotel in the San Fernando Valley, and authorities say they have camera footage that puts him there. Grant, who is allegedly a top OTF associate, bought ski masks, got cars, then gave 3 people guns, including one that had allegedly been converted into a machine gun to save federal crime. This is what prosecutors allege Grant did. And the indictment said that 6 people total. They traveled in 2 cars to the hotel in downtown LA where Bowman was supposedly staying.
So I keep trying to.
They allegedly started following Bowman, who was in a black Escalade with his cousin, Savaya Robinson, known as SR. The indictment includes photos from a traffic camera showing the white Infiniti the suspects were in, seemingly following the black SUV.
However,
And the indictment
may
says
show
that the
oneself
suspects then
unworthy
followed
of
the Escalade to a Beverly Hills gas station, parked in an alley. And the indictment reads, on August 19th, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TV's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TV's car while TV was inside. The images below show defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TV's black Escalade. So we have the death of SR. TV survived this attack. And the filing includes surveillance photos of what prosecutors say are the suspects appearing to fire guns towards the gas station. You can see it's daylight in these photos at a gas station in the middle of Beverly Hills. So Bradford, whoever was responsible for this, what a blatant crime, what a blatant act in the middle of it. But talk to me how strong you think this case is, based on what I've been saying. If we're trying to prove, if the prosecutors are trying to prove conspiracy, what do you make of some of this evidence? Text messages, surveillance, travel receipts, what do you make?
I think that Dirk will still have a defense. I think that, I don't know everything that's going on. Obviously, no one does. From what I'm reading in the indictment, I think there's some missing pieces there when it comes to Dirk about how involved he was in this alleged conspiracy. The other guys, where they all have plane tickets, they all got a car, they're on tape. That's going to be a very difficult case for those lawyers who have that case, because
it was almost 11.
And I've said this multiple times on multiple cases. There are so many ways these days to catch individuals in this type of crime, where you have cell phone records, GPS data. You're going to have cross-reference on the phones. What phones are together at what times? You're going to have car rental agreements. You're going to have videotapes. It's real funny because very often you find these.
That's what I'm going to do. I just start working. Side note, let me know. Or you can let me do that. Let's go. Does that improve our relationship? No. I maybe my married daughter. Oh, sweet. Still got some clothes, bro. It's cold, man. Yeah, Froze, guys. Nah. Come right.
Here's the thing, this Fuji Banton, I have grown up loving Champion. And I still sing that anytime it comes on the radio, I am singing full force. Champion is my song. Fuji Banton is right there. How could I not sing Champion with you? I'm so pumped to this. Don't stop turn and twist. God of His mercy. What's going on, my boy? Champion, talk like a champion. Want a piece of body, girl? Tell me where you get it from.
So,
Rum, pum, 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 pum. Here's the thing, this Fuji Banton. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This Fuji. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
He was cute, 25 years old.
saying that 10 years ago. Okay, I'm saying that 10 years ago, well, almost 12 years ago. Okay, and this is some of the reason, right? Okay, we've heard this. This shout out to Kevin Samuels, the late saint. Okay, he's the one that brought all this stuff out. What would you want?
I feel like 300,000 out of my dream. That would be comfortable for sure. I was just having this conversation with my friend, and she was like, "You have to manifest a husband, girl." I do. My husband needs to be like 600,000.
So you said you want 500K, but what do you think the median for a 30K? 60K? 70K? It is $45,000.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I think it's 250,000.
It's 52,000.
What? No, it's not. Damn, America.
Yeah, damn America, because it's not black men's fault. Damn America. Yeah, that's them being delusional. Okay. Psychology did an article of 63%. 2013. Okay. Maybe they did. But the thing is, those weren't the stats back then. This was actually a survey just recently, right after COVID. Because when I was doing it in 2013, 2014, those weren't the stats. Okay. It was not even close. Aspirational. Those were not the stats back then. They might have done that, but the thing is, this is a well-regarded multiple study in 2023. So basically, the MGTOW was we were actually castigated back then, okay? Badly, but now it's normal. Now it's normal. Okay. What the thing is that black men will adjust. I said, "What up?" But just were those women serious? No, they were actually serious. No, they're serious. Kevin proved that. Kevin proved because they used to come on. You still have Kendra G, okay, that still does their dating show, and the chicks all come up saying the exact same thing. They've kind of lessened as this economy has gotten worse, but they were all saying the same thing. It's not unusual. Let's see. So we're going to play our favorite white boy, okay? Psychax, right? Okay. And he's talking about men's romantic fantasy, why men get married, okay? And some of this stuff, remember, this goes along with some of the stuff I talk about the relationship being transactional, okay? And women are starting to make these relationships transactional. Remember I said that for marriages to actually work, men have to believe in it? So do these chicks realize if they want a man making that amount of paper or more off the rip, he has to have a square job? The word no can't see, she can't cross her lips ever. They have no idea, man. They have no idea. And they don't realize what they have to be to get a guy like you. KMS is just not going to pick up any old chick, okay? KMS is making, whatever he makes. We're not going to say what he makes, but whatever he makes, he's going to be very intentional about the woman that he picks to marry. And it won't be Keisha with, 6 kids by 4 different men. Trust and believe. Not my woman, she loves me for me. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, we know your story, you little make-believe. Well, this is Psychax. And speed him up just a tad. And he's talking about men's romantic fantasies, right? This is, in other words, stuff that we're sold, okay? And this is coming from a white guy. But black guys are sold the same shit in a different way. I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is men's romantic fantasy. So I've already introduced the idea that most men are romantics in a previous episode. Today, I'm going to be discussing in greater detail what I believe is the most predominant romantic fantasy that exists in the contemporary masculine imagination. You may not believe me when I tell you what it is, but I ask for your patience and open-mindedness as I make my case over the next several minutes. Here it is. The most predominant male romantic fantasy, at least when it comes to their sexual relationships with women, is partnership. The most romantic thing a man can want from a woman is partnership.
Let's go. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. Looking sweet.
What do I mean by this? What I mean by partnership is the idea that no matter what, I've got your back, you've got mine. No matter how bad it gets, I will pull you out of the fire, and I trust that you will do the same for me. We'll be working together as teammates on a shared mission. The shared mission of family, prosperity, and happiness.
Where have we heard this, especially in the black community, right? Okay? It's about duty. It's about mission. It's about saving the black community, right? Where have we heard this? Okay? If white men get a different story, but where have we heard this kind of story?
When we put our egos aside and selflessly devote our lives to each other, we secure our best possible chance of achieving our goal. All for one and one for all.
Yeah. In other words, ride or die, pick me, right? That's the fantasy, right?
No one gets left behind. So this is a beautiful dream. But in my experience, this isn't what women want. And it doesn't take much to understand why. Most women mate and date for gain. This means that most women will not entertain the possibility of a
They don't project mother. They've been socialized to believe in marriage, okay? Other traditions don't believe it don't believe in it in the same way, okay? We have a particular projection of how we are socialized to believe in marriage and partnership.
Relationship unless she believes it will significantly improve the quality of her life. It's very difficult, if not impossible, for a man to simultaneously be an equal partner and a better option. And if a woman has to choose between these two options, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna choose the guy who can
hypergamy. Hypergamy is biological.
Significantly improve the quality of her life. However, as easy as this might be to intellectually understand, that doesn't stop many men from thinking that this kind of partnership is possible. And to be fair, women are complicit in this understanding. They talk about finding their partner in crime, or being a power couple, or just espousing equality in relationships.
They espouse being ride or die, death to us part. I need a partner. I need somebody. I need my other half. All that kind of crap, right? And the women do it. Our mothers do it. Our society does it. Our TV, radio, and love songs do it, right? Because men have to be socialized. Men have to be brainwashed into serving this, okay? Because if men looked at it coldly and calculatedly, then they wouldn't do it. Okay, they have to be socialized.
As a virtue, this gives men hope that an equal partnership is what women are actually setting up for when they enter into relationships. Contrary to popular belief, men love the idea of equal partnership. Not only because, as I've discussed in a previous episode, 50-50 relationships represent a substantial savings to men relative to the standard cost of doing business, but because it caters to their romantic fantasy that they can be loved, not for what they do, not for what they can provide, but just for who they are.
Now, women say that all the time, right? Women want to be loved for who they are, intrinsic, right? Okay? And they get mad. Well, women also get mad when they're not loved for who they are. And they try to, because they want you to love them for who they are. They try to impress it upon you that they're going to do the same thing, which is not true. Okay, it's not true for the most part.
You see this idea reflected in the marriage vows. I don't know who wrote those traditional vows, but I guarantee you it was a man. Like, I've been to a lot of weddings, and if anyone's crying at the altar, in the vast majority of cases, it's the groom. The groom is the one in tears. And this is not because, cynically, he's catching a glimpse of a bleak future. No, it's because there is a woman standing in front of her family, her friends, and God himself, and promising that she is going to stay by his side no matter what. You're going to stay with me even if I'm sick? You're going to stay.
And does bring out the simp in men, does it not? That's why Dr. Thunder calls it simp music, right? Simp music.
Even if I'm poor, oh God! Like, I can understand why a man would get emotional at that moment, because no one has ever done that for him, ever, in his entire life. And the idea that he has finally met someone whom he can rely on to that degree, whom he can so fundamentally trust, someone in whose hands he can place his heart and soul, that's a beautiful and awesome and touching idea.
And in fact, that's what Jung says. Okay, that's a natural instinct to basically place your anima, just defeat your female self inside, your emotional self or inside, and place it inside another vessel, which is a woman, okay? Which usually sets you up for bad things, right? Number one, that's like white guys believe in this shit. That's like white guys commit divorce. Commit suicide all the time behind a woman, okay? Because they're socialized to believe this 100%.
But guys, I have just one question for you. If this is such a beautiful idea, at least in part, because most men have never experienced that kind of devotion and security in a relationship before in their entire lives, then on what grounds can you reasonably believe that this woman is going to be the exception? If you appreciate the insights on this channel, I would highly encourage you.
Go ahead and let him play his commercial, since he's doing it, and instead of skipping past it, since we're using this video, we're going to let him get his ad off.
Richard, to get your hands on a copy of my book, The Value of Others.
And I've heard people who actually say that have read it said it's actually a very, very good book. I haven't gotten it yet. But in fact, I think I'll do it today. I'll go ahead and order my book, The Value of Others. A few people that here have read it and love it. So.
Over the course of 432 pages, I delve deep into my economic model of relationships and explain the behavior of both men and women in the game of mating and dating. I also provide a lot of actionable advice on how to get and keep more of what you want in the sexual marketplace. Once you read The Value of Others, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Now available in ebook, audiobook, and paperback formats. The links are in the description.
Psychax is damn near black pill. Okay? He's read the book, he's damn near black pill. Where he looks at the relationships and mating, he's damn near black pill.
I appreciate that's a pretty hard-hitting question. Like, it's possible that she'll be the exception. There are some very loyal, very good women out there, but they are rare, gentlemen.
Yes.
And given that they are rare...
Say it again, white boy. Say it again. They're very rare. Say it again, white boy. And it took Toya, 35 years to get there? They're rare.
I would suggest the burden of proof lies on demonstrating that she is the exception, as opposed to assuming that she is until you see evidence to the contrary. The fact of the matter is that the road of life is twisty and turny. I don't know any man's life that is a constant slope up and to the right. Like, I've lost everything more than once in my adult life, and I've built it all back and more. There have been ups and downs, ups and downs. Over that time, I've had many different relationships, and let me tell you, no woman has ever left me when I was doing well. That's it. No woman has ever left me when I was doing well. Then look at your own relationship experience. When a woman has decided to end a relationship, what were the circumstances of your life? Like, what was going on? Did she leave when you were successful or when you were struggling? Did she leave when you were relaxed and thriving or when you were stressed and overwhelmed? I hate to break it to you, but partners don't cut and run when the going gets tough, which is why I've come to the conclusion that despite the apparent evidence to the contrary, women don't really want to be partners. They want to benefit. They want the ups. They do not want the downs. And they can want that because they can get that. That's just...
That is true. That's the way society is set up.
The reality of the sexual marketplace. So while I would absolutely say that there are some fantastic, wonderful, phenomenal women out there, it's probably safer to assume that any one woman that you're dealing with does not belong to that rarefied class. The burden of proof is on her to demonstrate that she's the exception, not the other way around.
Facts. I always say that, right? I know your personnel. Make sure she fits. Make sure that she brings a value to your life, okay? I always tell you, get rid of all that love stuff, right? Mr. Heat says, I'm quite surprised they haven't taken his channel. Him explaining these ideas so simply makes it hard to rationalize committing to any woman. It does, but the thing is, because he's a doctor, because he's a PhD, and because women actually like him, okay, believe it or not. Women actually agree with him. I give myself a nice thing. Appreciate you, Miss Delta. Sounds good. I think I'll do that. Yeah, but the reason but they actually like him, believe it or not, is because he actually does the other side about women too, how women can get their best deal, because he gives women a lot of black pill advice. Okay, not red pill, but black pill. Okay, on the ground, what do you need to do to get what you want? So he's probably beyond red pill. He's probably where I am, which is black pill.
The idea of partnership, gentlemen, is beautiful. It's one of the most uplifting and ennobling relationships human beings can have with each other on this planet. And while it is possible to have that kind of relationship, the kind of relationship in which no matter what, you have each other's back, guys, you are much more likely to have that kind of relationship with another man than with a woman.
That is true. It's true. The only woman that I had that was like that, and I probably should have kept her, okay, even though she was a 4. Okay? She was a 4 in the face. Even though the rest of her, them gazangas, okay, below the neck, she's probably a 10, but below the neck, she's a 4. But my girlfriend in high school, she was exactly like that, okay? The ones that would actually, if you killed somebody, she'd have the other shovel help you dig the body, that's grave for the body. That was her, okay? I only had one. And I always tell guys, you're going to get one. You might get one in your whole entire life that's like that, okay? So if you can't hold on to it, you hold on to it, okay? And it took me a bunch of years to realize that if I wanted that kind of woman, I already had her, and I let her go.
This is the kind of relationship you find in the band of brothers among soldiers who fight shoulder to shoulder. If one of their comrades is wounded, they will carry him out under enemy fire if needed, because they trust that he would have done.
Oh, yeah. Proud to say she was a 4 in the face, but she was, I would say, she was 5'8.5". She had a 22-inch waist, and she was a 44 triple D or something like that. If there is such thing, I mean, she was all tits, and she was chocolate, tall, and all tits. I mean, all tits. So, and they were marvelous. And she was butterface with some big old bitties. Yes.
Done the same for them. You are much more likely to find that kind of trust and loyalty and teamwork, that selfless surrender to the shared mission among men. Like, it's still rare, but it's much more common in male communities, teams, and groups than in sexual relationships.
That is true, because men depend on each other for different reasons. Men have to bring value to each other. And I've said that from the very beginning, right? Regardless of what you think you're going to feel or what you feel you want to get out of what, make sure that she aligns with you and that she brings value into your life. So even if you do split apart, you don't feel cheated. Okay? You don't feel cheated. That's why I say be careful.
Between men and women. So hopefully, I've made a case for the idea that partnership is at the heart of the male romantic fantasy when it comes to their sexual relationships with women. In my experience, most women don't want partnership. So if you engage with women with that intention, you are likely going to be disappointed. Fair warning. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message, because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really helps make the channel grow. And anyone looking to join my free weekly newsletter or book a paid consultation can do so on my website. The links to everything are in